What are some of the most influential albums for Gen Z artists and Gen Z's music taste overall? And I'm not talking about albums by Gen Z artists, I'm talking about the albums that shaped the Gen Z artists that we currently know and love. I'm in the process of counting down my personal top 15, and today we are at number 13, which is The Best Damn Thing by Avril Lavigne. This album released in 2007 and it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, with 4 singles, 3 of which also charting on the Billboard Hot 100, with Girlfriend, the lead single, going on to chart at number 1. To this day, that is Avril Lavigne's most successful chart single. This album was culturally impactful not just in terms of numbers, but also with aesthetics and sound. The album was a defining moment in the evolution of early 2000s pop punk and mainstream pop rock. It also solidified Avril's identity as a rebellious youthful voice that blended bubblegum pop and pop's catchy melodies and hooks with punk-tinged aesthetics and instrumentation. Not to mention the popularization of Avril's personal pop-punk princess aesthetic. I believe this album shaped how young audiences at the time interacted with and viewed rock-inflected pop music. It ultimately offered a template for confident, rebellious female expression, which today we know affectionately as female rage music. While The Best Damn Thing is just a part of Avril Lavigne's legacy, its cultural footprint and stylistic DNA helped pave the path for Gen Z artists to now pull from pop-punk, emo, and alt-pop. I think the clearest example of this that I could draw is, of course, Olivia Rodrigo. Not only does Olivia Rodrigo have an aesthetic that, in my opinion, frequently references Avril Lavigne's pop-punk princess aesthetic, but also Olivia is the pop rock girl of Gen Z. I mean, that's what she's known for, with hits like Get Him Back, Good For You, and Bad Idea, right? I also think if you look at her music videos or her most recent tour for Guts, you'll see this aesthetic laced all throughout her visuals. And I don't think Olivia Rodrigo would exist as we know her today without this album's existence. Just for good measure, in 2022 on Olivia Rodrigo's Sour Tour, she had Avril Lavigne out as a surprise guest at one of her shows. Olivia introduced Avril as an influential figure before they performed their song Complicated together, and a lot of fans kind of took this as almost like a passing of the genre's torch. There are other Gen Z artists too who cited Avril Lavigne as being an influence on them, like Billie Eilish and Willow. Though Billie leans a bit more alt-pop, she has cited Avril as an influence and even called her an idol who helped shape her. Willow has described Avril's work, including songs from The Best Damn Thing, as an essential soundtrack to her youth. And I think you can clearly see Avril's influence in Willow's work too. I mean, she's also known for working with rock and punk and kind of pushing boundaries and genres. Avril Lavigne also ended up featuring on one of Willow's songs called Grow. Some other Gen Z and Gen Z cusp artists that I don't think would exist as we know them today without this album include Nessa Barrett, Ashniko, and Lola Young. I do think this album was really influential, and it was one of my personal favorites growing up. I remember it was like one of the first CDs I ever bought. With that being said though, that's about all I have for this album, but I hope to see you back tomorrow for my number 12.